I've spent years fishing in these mountains, but the more time I've spent here, the more I uncover an uncomfortable truth. I'm going to be showing you how breathtaking this landscape is, whilst exposing some of the modern threats that the fish living here are facing. We'll start high in the tarns, follow the streams down into the big lakes, before finishing with one of my most unforgettable catches on an iconic Cumbrian river. Welcome to the Lake District. Fish on! Yes, come on, that feels like the biggest of the day. Fish on! Yeah, yeah, oh, that's a nice one. Fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on. Oh, what's that? What is that? I think that could be a salmon. It doesn't get much wilder than the high altitude mountain tarns. Some of them are so small and so remote they take hours hiking to reach. The fish in these rocky, low nutrient lakes might be small, but they are stunningly beautiful. Fish on! Yes, come on, that feels like the biggest of the day. That's actually a pretty nice one. Come on, come on. Wow. Yes, get in. Wow, that is an unbelievably beautiful fish. Actually a nice size one considering where we caught it. Look at those colours. Look at the colour of its belly too. Wow, such a privilege to come across that fish in a place like this. Got something on. What's that? That's a really big perch. Oh my days, I did not expect this today. No way. That's a really surprising result. Yes, we've got it. We've got it. Come on. The higher altitude you get, the smaller fish you get. So for a place like this, that is a stunning perch. Off you go. Fish on, fish on, fish on, yes! And he's in the net, come on! What a beautiful little fish that is. It's sort of got a dark green colour to it. Absolutely magnificent. Off you go. The more I explored these places, the clearer the pattern became. The tarns that were more popular with hikers and wild campers were suffering. Some even lifeless, despite being very geographically similar to their less visited neighbours. These ecosystems are very fragile and a few vital rules keep them alive. Catch and release is non-negotiable, and returning the trout back healthy is just as important. Use wet hands only, unhooking the net rather than on grass, and stick strictly to barbless hooks only. Mountain fish aren't just restricted to the tarns, and surprisingly healthy populations thrive in the small streams that cascade down through the valleys and into the big lakes. Fish on, fish on, fish on! We've got one on! No way! Wow, this is so exciting! What a moment! There's lots of rocks, tiny fly, deep mountain pool. I just need to get this one in the net. Yes! Come on! Yes! Just look at that fish. I cannot put into words how special of a moment this is for me. Off you go, my friend. Once those streams hit the lakes, that's when the fish start to get a lot bigger. Windermere is the Lake District's most famous water, and tall tales of legendary fish have inspired anglers here for generations. My favourite fish to target here have to be the predators like the pike and the perch. Fish on! Yep, yep. Oh, that's a nice one. I think that's a pretty nice one. Come on. Got it? So here we go. I'd maybe give that about £6 or something. It's not very long, but it's got a massive belly on it. Look at that, so pleased. Let's get it back. Fish on, fish on, come on. Yes, that's a perch. That's a pretty nice one as well. And we've got it, get in. Yes, look at that. Isn't that just an absolutely beautiful perch? I've really had to work hard for it today, but that is my reward. Looking back 100 years, things were very different here. Windermere was known as being one of England's premier trout waters, and visiting anglers focused almost exclusively on Arctic char and wild brown trout. Since then though, their populations have plummeted for many reasons, but in my opinion the most frightening is the ongoing issue with sewage. In the last 5 years, over 1 billion litres of sewage, mostly treated but including hundreds of millions of litres of raw, untreated and illegal spills have been discharged into Windermere's catchment, according to the BBC and the Guardian's analysis of EA data. Now this contains phosphorus, which actually triggers toxic algal blooms, turning the water green, killing fish and even making it unsafe to swim. And this nutrient overload is a stark contrast to what the water's supposed to be like in these deep, clear glacial lakes. This has supercharged the populations of non-native bream and roach, which are outcompeting the native populations of trout and char that have survived here since the last ice age. And as a result, unfortunately, their numbers are down over 80% in the last century. For now though, there are still some huge fish to be caught here, if you know where to look. Recently I joined Dave on the water, a local guide who has been fishing Esthwaite for over 3 decades. Fish on, yes, come on. Get it. It's not a huge one, but it's lively. Very lively, it might have got itself a bit wrapped up there. There we go.
Nice one, well done.
So here we go, this is my first pike of the day. It's far from the massive fish we came here for, but it always puts a smile on my face to get one. And that means we've not blanked at least, but onwards and upwards. Hopefully the next one's going to be a little bigger. So what kind of size pike would you say we've got swimming around here at the moment?
Okay, well, Esthwaite Water, 280-acre lake is legendary for the pike fishing, as any pike angler knows. It's one of the sort of top 10 lakes in the country. It's got a huge head of 20-pounders in, 30-pounders come out periodically, and the biggest pike to ever come out of this lake historically is 46 pound 2 ounces.
Oof, that's a cracker, isn't it?
Yeah, 9 ounces off the British record at the time.
Whoa!
Come on, straight in.
Yes! Oh, whoa! Very, very well done.
That's the one.
Well, there we go. Look at the size of that one. That's the big fish we came here for. It could be a 20-pounder, maybe not far off, but either way, one absolutely stunning fish. Look at that. Very well done, Dave.
Thank you.
On this trip, we did actually land a pike with somebody else's hooks still in its mouth, and uneducated anglers pose one of the biggest risks today to our pike living here in Cumbria. Make sure you always carry long-nose pliers, hook cutters, an unhooking mat and a big landing net. But more importantly than all of that, please make sure you thoroughly research how to handle a pike before you go intending on catching one, or go with somebody who knows what they're doing before going out on your own. Here in the Lake District, we're also blessed with some of the country's most beautiful rivers and a rich salmon fishing heritage dating back as early as the 1700s. Fish on, get in. Yes, that's a nice one. That's a really nice fish. That's a really nice trout. Yes, get in. Come on. Look at this for an absolutely beautiful wild trout. What a whopper. Let's get it back. It was once a salmon angler's paradise. Victorians chased 30-pounders on the Kent. Wordsworth wrote of silver salmon leaping weirs, and railway posters promised Cumbria's finest salmon fishing. Today that culture survives mostly in the stories, and the fish are ghosts of a cleaner past.
We are now at the storm drain which goes into the River Kent. As you can see, there's sanitary towels all over the spot. Just not one or two, but hundreds. G-Rex is hanging from the trees as well and the branches.
Pollution, marine overfishing, habitat loss and predation have all driven a big decline in the salmon numbers nationwide, but every so often the stars align. Months of effort chasing one of the UK's most elusive fish finally pay off with one unforgettable fishing moment that makes it all worthwhile. Fish on, fish on, fish on, fish on. Oh, what's that? What is that? I think that could be a salmon. Oh, no way. Just need to make sure my drag's loose enough. We actually have a salmon on here. That is not a small fish. That is not a small fish either. Oh, look at that reel scream. Oh, my heart is absolutely racing here. I am shaking. Right, I'm sorry if it appears like I'm overexcited, but this is, oh. Now while I've got a moment playing this, it would be a good time to kindly ask you to subscribe to the channel. I do massively appreciate everybody who joins along the adventure fishing journey. Whoa, that's a huge fish. That's a huge fish. I don't actually have that much more charge on my camera. This is genuinely a once in a few years kind of event, a fish like this for me. Look at that! This is my biggest ever salmon, and what an absolute beauty! This is a seriously heavy fish. Look at the girth on it. Wow, look at that mouth as well. As I released that fish back off into the water, it served as a very important reminder. These fish are facing more challenges than ever, but they aren't giving up without a fight. And you need to decide which side of that fight you're on, because the Lake District isn't just scenery, it's a living legacy. Fish it wisely, guard it fiercely, and look after it for the next generation.
In the town on the hill where the apples grow, the church bells ring every hour or so. I took a little walk just to see the ships coming in. I can't go back down to that water.